Some of us may already know that after the US elections that took place between November 8 and November 9, US stocks have been rising. It's been a big rally, and US dollar has been strengthening against other currencies as well. Just recently, right now it's 27th November 2016, and just recently Dow Jones Industrial Average broke its all-time record of 19,000 points. So you can see 19,000, and keeps climbing onwards. If we take maximum period since 1970s, to be precise, December 3, 1976 to present day, we see that Dow Jones Industrial Average has been rising, going incredibly fast, especially lately. But here we can see also corrections. That's the latest crisis, financial crisis that took place in 2008. And here was the dot-com bubble, 2000, 2001. And here you can see a little change in price. That was the big crisis in the end of 80s. And right now we see new records broken, and the question is, when are we going to see another crisis? The question is not if we're going to see it, but when. And we will evaluate this in terms from the technical perspective. I took three instruments. The first instrument is US 500, which is corresponds to Standard & Poor 500. That is similar to Dow Jones Industrial Average. Basically, large US companies, their performance combined. This is how the weekly graph looks like. Another instrument I took, the second one, is Euro-Dollar. At the moment, Euro has been relatively stable, but mostly declining against the dollar. And the third instrument is gold, which has also been declining, which is logical because when US economy is doing well, like right now, indexes are growing, US dollar is strengthening, therefore euro against US is of course weakening. Therefore we see a correlation that's called in English, that's called correlating stocks or correlating instruments. They depend on each other. When one graph goes up, usually another one goes the opposite direction. Same with gold, because gold rises when there is crisis in US markets. So everyone invests their money away from the US economy into gold as a safe haven. At the moment I'll show you a little clip from Bloomberg Markets that I'm also following daily, which helps me to be in touch with the world and know what is happening. And they have actually put the question in their TV.
Is it an overstatement to say that when this market turns, be it equities, treasuries, and other assets too, it really turns quite substantially and you see a major reversal? What's the risk of something like that happening between now and, say, Inauguration Day?
Sure, I think that there's a material risk of there being a pullback depending upon what's going to be the catalyst for it.
So basically, Bloomberg Markets, the host, is discussing when and if there's going to be a turn towards the downturn, towards the bear market, as it's called, when prices go down, when it is going to happen. Nobody knows, of course. However, there are certain things you can try to figure it out. One of my favorite indicators is called Williams percent range indicator. You can insert it by clicking Insert, Indicators, and then select Williams percent range. If you do not see it, in the menu at first, then go to oscillators and select Williams percent range. Hit OK, and you will see, since I already had it, I now have it 2 times here. And what this indicator shows, it shows when the instrument is overbought or oversold. This is the indicator window, and when you see the value of the indicator is above -20, above this line, that means that the instrument is most likely overbought, which means that the price is too high. It should probably decline soon. And when you see the indicator below -80, that means the instrument is most likely oversold, which means that it's time to buy it. Historically, you can see it's more or less accurate, and if you follow this indicator, you may even make some money if you're clever. So at the moment, the indicator is at the very top, as you can see. That means that US 500 index is heavily overbought. Since we chose correlating stocks, correlating instruments, let's check if EURUSD on weekly graph is actually oversold. Yes, it is oversold. Weekly graph, EURUSD, it is at the very bottom in here. Let's check gold. It is as well oversold, but that's a daily graph. Let's check a weekly graph. Yes, it's heavily oversold. So indicators show that US economy is on peak, probably, if you use only one indicator. Thing is, in order to make a decision on the market, you never use one indicator. You have to take into account several indicators at least, and then also technical and fundamental analysis. In terms of technical analysis of US 500, you can see a red line in here that I drew. This is called a line that supports the instrument, supports the trend. So it's a support line. So you see I built it in here. In MT4 you can draw lines by clicking on this icon, draw trend line, and simply drag and drop where you want to place it. So you see this was a resistance line because the price never went below this line except here. Here it broke the resistance line. Let's draw another resistance line. I mean support line. Sorry, this support line because it supports the bottom of the price. In terms of resistance line, we can see resistance line in here very well in daily gold graph. So since we remember gold was going down, declining, here is the line that's been acting as a resistance line, so it didn't let the price go further than this line for quite a while. So once you see resistance or support line, like in here, this support line breaking, if the price breaks through it, that means that the trend may be changing. Short time or long term, we don't know. In here is support line of EURUSD. As you see, it's been touched just a few days ago. So if the instrument breaks this support line, that means that it's most likely to go down for a long time, because once support and resistance lines change, that means trends drastically change as well. Same with gold. Resistance line, this red line, it hasn't been broken, and we see that it's nowhere close to be broken. Once we see the price breaking this line, that means that the trend has changed and we should change our tactic. and prepare for new market conditions. This is what resistance and support lines indicate. So at the moment, which conclusion can we make about the market? Basically, US market possibly overbought. So US market in general is probably overbought according to percentile Williams indicator. And correlating instruments are oversold because you see RSI well below -20. So this may tell you that you may want to start shorting US stocks, US indices. You may short sell US currencies against other currencies. However, this is still not enough information to make a viable decision about opening a trade. But this is an overview of the technical analysis, and I hope this was helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe, click like, and you can always use a link that I included in the description to open an account with my broker that I'm using. And have a nice day.